All right, so everybody, today we are diagramming sentences once again, but this time with linking verbs. All right, linking verbs are something we have not touched at all. So let's take a look. Okay, this is just a reminder. The biggest thing you can do when you are diagramming sentences is to first and foremost highlight what is a subject and what is a predicate. The subject is the person or place or thing that is doing the action or being described. The predicate is where they are doing the action or they are being described. All right, the little boy kicked the ball. The little boy is quite cute. You guys have seen these examples a couple of times now. Let me know if you still struggle with this. All right, types of verbs. So our action verbs are all those things that we do that take active effort on some part. I dream, I sleep, I kick, I scream, I yell, okay? Linking are those things that happen simply because we are, okay? They're describing what we are rather than something that we're doing at the moment, okay? The little boy is quite cute or was quite cute or what have you. Okay, so here's a big thing. How can I identify linking verbs? A lot of times we have linking verbs and we wonder when is it a linking verb. We so often default into assuming that a verb is an action verb. So how can you tell it? Now, go back. Remember that linking verbs link the subject to a description. They can be replaced by an equal sign or some word of the form to be, okay? Tommy felt sick. Well, in this sentence, if we replace the word felt with an equal sign or is, we could say Tommy is sick, or Tommy equals sick, or Tommy was sick. All of that makes sense. So this is a linking verb. Felt is a word linking Tommy to the description sick. However, we have a problem that arises, and that's that some verbs look like linking verbs, but they're actually action verbs. So take this exact same verb, felt, and put it in another sentence. Tommy felt the table. In this sentence, felt cannot reasonably be replaced with an equal sign or is. Tommy is the table? No. Tommy equals the table? No, that doesn't make sense. In fact, this is an action verb. Can anybody tell me what kind of action verb it is? That's right. It's an action transitive verb. Tommy would be the subject, felt would be the transitive verb, and table would be the direct object. It's what he felt, okay? The solution, always do the replacement test. If you're trying to figure out if a word is a linking verb, do the replacement test. Forms of the word to be are basically always linking verbs, and then there's some other words that you'll see along the way. Okay, so let's take a look. All right, now linking verbs. Please don't get overwhelmed that there's three options. You're always going to have the subject, you're always going to have the linking verb, and then you're always going to have a description. But we can have three different types of description when it comes to linking verbs. We can have a noun, which is a predicate noun. We can have an adjective phrase, which is a predicate adjective. Or we can have an adverb phrase, which is a predicate adverb. These are all different ways of describing the subject. Now, this might not make a whole lot of sense yet, but let's take a look at some examples. Okay, Carly is a sweet girl. Well, this is a form of the word to be, so we know it's a linking verb. And it's saying that Carly equals a sweet girl. Now, what I want to point out to you is what we're really describing Carly as is a girl. You might think that we're calling her sweet, which is important here, but the main word, the ending word, the big idea that's happening here is a noun. So we have Carly as the subject. So we always start with sentence, noun, phrase, subject, verb, phrase, predicate. We always do that. Over here, we only have one noun in the subject. Great, nice and easy. We have our linking verb, and then we have our noun, phrase, predicate, noun. And what that's saying is basically this is the predicate noun that equals the other half. Okay? A is one of those articles, so it's a little baby adjective. Sweet is an adjective, and then girl. So Carly equals girl. She equals specifically a sweet girl. Does that make sense? I hope so. Good job. Okay, so this is the first option. Noun, linking verb, noun, phrase, predicate, noun. Let's take the next one. All right, Billy seemed very tired. Seemed is one of those words that isn't a form of the word to be, but if we replace it with a form of the word to be, it still makes sense. Billy was very tired. Makes perfect sense. Billy equals very tired. Makes perfect sense. So we can tell that this is a linking verb. Okay, now over here, we always have the sentence, noun, phrase, subject, verb, phrase, predicate. We have the noun, which I'm sorry, my line is almost off of Billy. Billy. We've established that this is a linking verb, but here we have the adjective phrase. What are the main things we're describing Billy as? Tired. Now we've added in an adverb, but the adverb is adding to the adjective. All right, so what did Billy seem? He seemed tired. How tired was he? He was specifically very tired. All right, take a look at that. Write down that example in your notes. Right next to it, any questions that you have for me? I like it when you guys take out your Post-its and you write a question mark on your Post-it so we don't forget to answer it when I come up, or write it at the end. All right, next one. Samson is here. Now it's a form of the word to be, so we can assume it's a linking verb. Here is now not a noun. Okay? Here is a place where I am, but it's describing where am I? I'm here. Okay? So we have our noun, phrase, subject, verb, phrase, predicate, our noun, our linking verb, and then an adverb. Pretty darn simple. The thing about adverbs is there's very few adverbs that can stand alone, because all of our ly words would not make sense here. We wouldn't say Samson is quickly. Samson is slowly. That would not make sense on their own. So there's very few adverbs that can go here at the end of a linking verb. However, what often happens is this scenario. When we have a prepositional phrase. Do you remember that prepositional phrases often serve as adverb phrases? Adverb phrases are most often prepositional phrases. So if you have a prepositional phrase that serves as an adverb, that's okay. You simply put prepositional phrase, predicate, adverb. This is what more often happens, so don't get confused. Trevor was at home. Well, that makes sense. He equals at home. Okay, that's where he is. But at is a preposition, and this is usually what you'll have. Like Trevor was around the corner. Trevor was in front of the chair, or whatever it is. Most often you will not have a adverb stand alone after a linking verb. It usually does not make sense. But prepositional phrases are serving as adverbs. They're describing where was he? He was at home. And so they're serving as predicate adverbs. You remember that? Think back all the way to Unit 2. Alrighty. So we again have subject, noun, phrase, subject, or sentence, noun, phrase, subject, verb, phrase, predicate. We have one simple noun, a linking verb, and then prepositional phrase. And then all you do is, by marking that prepositional phrase, the predicate adverb, you let me know that you're completing the other half of a linking verb. A linking verb needs to have either a predicate, noun, adjective, or adverb. So if you're left with a prepositional phrase, make sure you mark it predicate, adverb. Then you have your preposition and your noun. All right? Thanks so much.